Why did no one tell me to watch this show sooner? In my last video, there were a lot of comments telling me that the real best superhero show of all time was Daredevil and not Invincible. And, well, after the season finale of Invincible, I could feel myself slowly losing my mind, more and more. So, yeah, I desperately needed something to watch. So, I binged the whole show, and I caught up to Born Again in a few nights. And, I gotta say, yeah, you guys were right, this show's really damn good. Spoilers for Daredevil Born Again, episodes 1 through 8. Oh, and the original show too, I guess. I've been dying to talk about this show. Let's go. For context, Daredevil is a character that means a lot to me, and frankly, if there's a bad Daredevil book out there, I've never read it, and I'd like to keep it that way. Unlike another character that means a lot to me and to other people, Daredevil books have always been pretty damn consistent. An analogy I saw someone use once that I really liked was that Daredevil is the comic book equivalent of pizza. To be honest, it doesn't get more accurate than that. In order to find bad pizza, you gotta actively look for that shit. So I'm sure you're thinking, if that's the case, why the hell are you just now watching Daredevil? Well, to be completely honest, I didn't actually know about the show until very later on in its lifespan. How is that possible? I don't know. Don't ask me. But once I did find out about the Daredevil show that I, for some reason, never heard about, I got flashbacks to the other times Marvel put out shows of some of my favorite characters. So yeah, I was scared to watch it. But hey, I'm glad I was wrong. Daredevil Born Again was meant to be a continuation of the original Netflix show, and to an extent, it is. But after watching them both to completion back to back, I can confidently say that this show is a completely new show. It's the same cast, sure, but it kind of felt like it was missing its soul. One of the biggest reasons for that being the decision, or decisions, they made in episode 1. The show opens with Matt, Karen, and Foggy just hanging out at Josie's. They're drinking, they're goofing around, and it's perfect. All of a sudden, trouble comes knocking at the door, and Matt suits up. You see a red devil suit jumping and flipping on rooftops, grappling from building to building, and seeing all of this, you just get an immediate wave of relief knowing that they got it right. This is the same good old Daredevil show you know and love. Are we dead ass? During my time watching the original Netflix show, Foggy's death was spoiled for me, which sucked, but I got over it, and I was going into Born Again fully ready to watch yet another great send-off to one of my favorite characters. But not even a fucking spoiler could stop my jaw from smacking the floor when I saw this shit. Without Foggy, this show wouldn't be what it is today. If it weren't for him and Karen, Matt would have been long gone. It would either be just Daredevil, or he would be outright dead. Now, if you want to experiment, and you want to see what Matt's world is like without Foggy, I say that's fine. But this is just not the way to do it. Killing him in the first 10 minutes of episode 1, and then just cutting to a 1-year time skip where the Earth has kept spinning, Matt has a new firm, and people have moved on, it all just feels like a slap in the face and a really lazy way to completely get rid of Foggy. And I really can't fathom why they would even want to do that in the first place. And then it hit me, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. There has been a comic run where Vanessa specifically fakes Foggy's death. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I don't want to give anyone false hope, but I'm just saying it exists. But even worse than Foggy's death was Karen's disappearance. After the time skip, we see Kristen ask Matt if he's heard from her, to which he says he hasn't. And then a few minutes later, we see Karen walk into the courtroom very awkwardly. From there on, you know exactly what's going on between these two. Turns out Matt stopped talking to Karen for weeks after Foggy's death. And so she moved to San Francisco and stopped talking to Matt completely. And you see, here's where I call complete bullshit. Karen was just as important of a character as Foggy. He's now dead, so obviously he can't be in the show anymore. But you're telling me that Karen only has 5 minutes of total screen time just because she's not in New York anymore? She said it herself, my friend died too. So why the fuck are we just completely ignoring everything that's going on in her life? Look, I did not do any research about this show's pre-production, but killing off Foggy in that matter, writing off Karen in a blatantly stupid way, something definitely smells here. There's only one episode left for this season, and I really doubt they will bring back Karen at this point of the show, so I'm just praying she comes back as a main character in season 2 and hopefully going forward. Another big focus of this season was setting up one of the much cooler Daredevil villains in recent years, Muse. In the comics, Muse was a very deranged graffiti artist who would paint murals using the blood of his victims. The show adapts this part of his character very well. We hear about a mysterious serial killer in the city that has taken the lives of 60 victims. And at the same time, we get a bunch of shots showing us these big murals on the sides of many buildings. This goes on for a while until in episode 6, the man in charge of cleaning these murals off the wall tells Fisk that no matter what equipment they would use, the paint simply wouldn't come off. So after a chemical analysis, they realized that these murals were made out of human blood, directly linking the artist Muse to the murders that have been taking place in the city. This slow introduction to Muse, seeing everyone put the pieces together little by little, is so cool and it's so well done. 10 out of 10, no notes. But you see, the main thing that makes him a great Daredevil villain specifically are his powers. In the comics, Muse's body is described to act as a vortex that pulls in every bit of sensory information around him. Essentially, what that means is that Matt can't sense him. For reference, think of the ninjas from Season 2. Just on steroids. I was really excited to see what they were going to do with their first encounter. And so, episode 6 came, Matt put on the cowl once again, and he whooped his ass. Twice. Look, I am fully aware that the MCU simply changes things. In fact, I encourage them to change some things. It's because of these changes that characters such as the Guardians are now very popular and loved by many. But really, what is the point of doing Muse if he's just gonna be a regular ass dude? I don't see why you would waste such a cool dynamic between these two characters just to make another typical psychotic killer. In that case, just use a different character. Or keep doing Bullseye, we all love him. But you know what? Maybe I'm being a little too harsh. It's possible that in later episodes, something's gonna go down, Muse is gonna get his powers, and everything is gonna be alright. Oh, for fuck's sake! So they don't give him his powers, and he's really only in 2 episodes before he gets killed off. Yikes. Okay, look, I get that I've been complaining a lot, and frankly, I have a few other complaints. One being that I think the show can look really bad sometimes, but I won't get into those because I don't want to look like an asshole. But don't get the wrong idea, I am still very much enjoying this show. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are completely deadlifting this show. Matt's arc of leaving Daredevil behind and letting the system take care of everything after Foggy's death was really great, despite knowing that underneath it all, he was carrying a lot of anger and Catholic guilt. With scenes such as Dex getting his life sentence or his conversation with Frank, seeing him practice law, build relationships, and just live a healthier lifestyle was really nice. We always knew he would eventually put the cowl back on, but they didn't rush it, and I'm glad they didn't. Although, since Matt's Catholicism is my personal favorite aspect of his character, I was kind of hoping we would get to see more of that, specifically with his mother, but I'm guessing they didn't do this mainly because of casting issues, so I'm okay with what we've gotten so far. As for Fisk, his whole arc revolves around him not using his old methods anymore in order to get things done as the mayor of New York, creating a direct parallel between him and Matt as they both slowly go back to their old ways, with Daredevil fighting Muse and the Kingpin beating the dog shit out of Adam. I'm also really enjoying the drama between him and Vanessa. Although seeing the Kingpin in couples therapy was a little funny, there's a lot of tension between these two, to the point where Heather even asked Vanessa if she was safe. And for the record, her response made me feel like she isn't as safe as she thinks she is. But that might be a bit of a reach, we'll see what happens. Apart from those two, there aren't really any other characters that stood out to me. Bullseye just now broke out of prison and took a shot at Fisk, which Matt intercepted, so I'm really excited to see what goes down with him in the season finale. Heather's alright, but she does kinda just feel like a way for Fisk to be connected to Matt in some way. White Tiger was cool. Fuck! I feel like Kristen should have been a little bit more important. She hasn't really done much. And I really liked Cherry at first, but he kind of pissed me off in the last few episodes, so not so much anymore. Overall, Daredevil Born Again is a bad attempt at continuing what the original Netflix show was doing. But that isn't a bad thing. This is a completely new show. The only parts that stuck around were Charlie's portrayal of Matt Murdock and Vincent D'Onofrio's portrayal of the Kingpin. And frankly, apart from Foggy and Karen, that's all they really needed in order to make a very strong show. Will it ever reach the peaks of the original Netflix show? I don't know. Season 3 of Daredevil was genuinely one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen in my entire life. And yes, you could make an argument for it being better than Invincible Seasons 1 and 3. Overall though, I still think Invincible's better. Sorry guys. Anyways, so far I'm at an 8 out of 10 with this season, but of course the season finale has yet to come out, so my score could change dramatically. I owe all of you a big thank you for putting me onto this show, and I can't wait to see the second season of it, because I've seen set pictures and it looks really promising. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go check out some of my other videos. I think I got a few in there that are worth watching. Let me know your thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. I want to see your scores out of 10 so far. I was debating if I should review the other seasons of Daredevil, but I decided it was best to just review the new stuff for now. So if you'd like to see me talk about the other seasons, let me know. Anyways, thanks again, and I'll see you soon.